All right, today I want to talk about one of the things that comes up so often in coaching sessions and actually a lot in life in general. And it's this idea of how do I bring lightness and self-alignment into my outward expression. So as I start to understand myself more and more, how do I bridge the gap between bringing that which I feel good with inside, which feels right, how do I bring that into an outward true expression into my relationships, into my work, into my friendships, into casual meetings, and in resulting in that, how do I experience lightness of living? Guys, this is one of my favorite things. And there are a lot of things that tend to come in between those at first. And so I want to talk about 3 major blocks. And then the one thing that I feel like kind of blows them all out of the water, kicks their booties. The first thing that often comes in the way is the idea of I need to protect this identity. I've built a lot of structure into my life, right? We've all, as we grow up, we build this image of who we are. It involves sometimes our relationship status. It involves what we do for a career, how we are, how we generally express ourselves. So a lot of times it's, I tend to be an organized person, but now I've labeled myself as I am the organized one. I've always got my stuff together. Or I'm the free-spirited hippie. Everything in my life just flows and moves, right? And so sometimes what happens as we begin to explore ourselves more, then there's this place where in this present moment, maybe the free-flowing hippie says, yeah, but I really feel like organizing something. I feel like being structured in this moment, but that doesn't align with the image that I have of myself or that I think other people have of me. So not going to do it. And so in that way, we start to feel lack of alignment because what's coming naturally from the inside in this moment doesn't align with all of the past stories that we've made up of ourselves. The second is, you could call it the mind reader syndrome, or the fitting in idea that when I think that I know what you want of me and I try to make myself into that picture, I fit myself into this box of the idea that I believe that you want to see from me. But very rarely do we know what other people really want. Because a lot of times they don't even know what they want. A lot of times people want to be surprised. They have an idea of what they think a perfect girlfriend does and what a perfect business partner does. But sometimes it's the things that are outside of their scope that make those relationships, those friendships, the richest. And so whenever we try to give them exactly what we think that they want of us, it's even confusing to think about, then we end up in kind of this funky cycle where we're just making guesses all the time and we're not expressing fully who we are. The third place, and that's tied very closely to number 2, is the idea of fear of disappointment. Fear that I will not live up to the expectation and the image that you have of me. And then what results from that? Do you leave me? Do we stop working together? Do I get fired? Right? It comes with a lot of fears. But there's this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful expression. Actually, it's the German word for disappointment. It's Enttäuschung. And it literally means the end of illusion. Right? The ending of what I thought was there but wasn't true in the first place. A lot of times we disappoint ourselves. We say, I had this expectation of myself and I totally didn't live up to it. But what I did was I expressed exactly what was real in that moment. I ended the illusion, the expectation of what I had, the idea, and I replaced it with what's really there. I feel like we've for so long seen disappointment as this horrible thing, but in all honesty, it's such a beautiful thing. It's the end of illusion. And that brings us full circle back to the point of the key piece that I want to give you today. And it's the idea of, do you choose the true self-expression, true expression in this moment, in the present moment, over the ideas that you have of yourself, that image, the idea that you can read someone else's mind, and the fear of disappointment? Because the moment that you can put that priority to live fully in this moment, to full expression of whatever is there, as little or as much sense as it makes, we are beautiful paradoxes. We are not fitting all into one box. It's just not the way that it works. We're chaotic and organized. We're all of these things mixed together. And the beautiful paradox is that those can all coexist, and they look different in each moment. Sometimes true expression from the outside can seem a little inconsistent. What is consistency other than I'm judging on everything else that's happened in the past and you're not aligning with it moving forward? Also okay. And so I wish for you in this moment freedom of expression, and in that the lightness that comes with being who you are, raw, unhindered, free in each moment. Sometimes this takes a little work. Sometimes it takes some playing with it. It takes getting curious to see, okay, what happens here? And sometimes we feel that old feeling of misalignment again. How beautiful is that, right? Okay, now this is not a failure. It's I saw something and next time I can do it differently. So reach out if you want support. Reach out to friends, reach out to a coach. And see how you can begin bringing lightness into your life. Bringing self-expression that is free from all of the past, that is just here and now. Love you guys. Ciao.